You're on. How you doing today, brother Cliff?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a while. It's been over a month. I had my youngest daughter down here, and I've been away from cyberspace, if you will. But now that she's back in Michigan and everything is going fine, of course, there's been a lot of shenanigans
Right.
going on like only they can go on in our community.
Of
But
course.
an interesting thing you showed me the other day with a Mr. Richelieu Dennis. I think he's a native Liberian like you.
Yes.
Um, he has to get his props for buying Essence magazine. Apparently,
Right.
he's turned into a mogul through hair products and stuff with
SheaMoisture.
SheaMoisture, which I have actually bought the shampoo, and my hair has been a lot better for it, by the way.
Wow.
But anyway, in true marketing fashion, he buys Essence magazine. I think we did a video on this last year. And then this past year at the Essence Music Festival, which is a apropos place to make the announcement that he is laying down a $100 million investment foundation for black women only who are entrepreneurs.
Investment fund, right?
Investment fund, however you want to look at it, they
Right.
exclusively for black women. They have a $100 million tap in, if you will,
Right.
if they so choose to invest in or acquire.
Right.
And this black man has put that up front for them exclusively. When you first showed me that, I was kind of irritated. Why don't you do that for black men?
I was too. Just looking at the title.
But then I had to stop and think, no, after I saw the article, read more on the man and everything, it makes sense. And quite frankly, I do the same thing. My frustration would not be at him.
Right.
It would be on the macrocosm of everything.
Mm-hmm.
We are seen everywhere, and there's nothing wrong with that per se, but when it's out of bounds,
Right.
black women are running everything.
Okay.
They are doing everything. Resources
Right.
are being allocated to them. I could go on and on about it. The thing
Right.
is, where are our black men?
Yeah.
Where are our black men? As you know, I even tried to get a meeting together a couple of months ago, which you and another colleague of mine attended,
Right.
for that very reason, just to simply try to get a sense of all of these things that we are seeing in America, black America,
Right.
is what I'm concerned about, obviously, where Essence magazine, I receive a subscription from them and everything. Even in Black Enterprise magazine,
Mm-hmm.
for the last several years, they've dedicated some of their resources and research into a series known as Black Women of Power.
Right.
I've actually been invited to one of their things here in Charlotte to attend a Black Women of Power dissertation here in Charlotte. But anyway,
let me just jump in and say one quick thing before I forget that point. But about Richelieu Dennis, I look at the whole situation like this. I was pissed when I read the title at first, like, okay, why isn't he doing anything for black men? But again, you got to remember, this guy is an immigrant. He wasn't even born here. So you have black American men. The biggest example would be President Obama, that was here as president. He actually gave the Native American group money. He gave the Jewish
surviving
group
of the Holocaust,
money,
allocated
and
things for them.
he could have simply allocated funds towards black women as well. He could have done that in some form or fashion, but he didn't do that. And you have this immigrant guy who is, of course, black, but he's looking at it like, well, I need to do this for people who have been supporting my business over the years.
Yeah, and,
So,
he comes across very strong with his vision about that. I'm glad I read up on him and looked at the interview. The
Right.
interview he was engaged in, he talked about his vision
right,
of, quite frankly, keeping our money with our people.
Right.
And doing that through, in this particular microcosm of black women who want to be entrepreneurs.
yes,
And a lot of that may run along the hair care
industry
thing.
or
And when
whatever.
you see that interview, I would like for people to pay attention to the statistics he puts up in the interview
Right.
that I don't have time to do now, but it shows expenditures that
Right.
black women have spent with relationship to
So,
other people.
right.
He gives you a very breakdown on things, but the major point is with this, obviously, whenever any group, person, or entity
Mm-hmm.
want to do anything exclusively for black men,
Yep.
that is the equivalent of a national security violation
Oh, yes.
as far as white America is
Oh,
concerned.
yes. Yes.
Now let's just call it
You
what
know,
it is. So even if the brother did do it
right.
for black men,
It was going to be a backlash.
it'd probably be a backlash of
Right.
all kind of things coming from the ones who promulgate and promote white supremacy and
Right.
systemic racism.
It's almost like calling the cops, right?
Yeah, yeah, because quite
And
frankly,
we're gonna go into that topic next, but
quite frankly, black women have never been a threat, nor will they ever will be.
right.
And I've said a million times, unbeknownst to even black women,
A threat to who specifically?
white America and its establishment for white supremacy and
Right.
that whole myth about they are superior and
The system-
the systems in
the
place
system.
that promulgate systemic racism.
Right. The system. Yeah.
Even President Obama couldn't even call Brothers Keepers an
Right.
exclusive for young black troubled teenagers. He had to throw young troubled Hispanic teenagers and young men in the mix to even do that.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of positives when you look, even though we don't know the stipulations of what this fund or loan is, the stipulations
It's
of.
quite an energizer for someone.
It is. It surely is, but we don't know whether it's going to be geared more towards the beauty industry, whether you have to be a part of that industry. You see what I'm saying?
Well, even in his
Or
interview, he cited that we only have a few, but we need to get thousands. And
Right.
even when his hope and vision is, even when one black female utilizes some of this 100 million, you go and share it with another one and you build. Who's been talking like that forever and a day?
Right.
Marcus Garvey 100 years ago.
Right.
We've got modern day people like Dr. Claude Anderson,
Minister
Dr.
Farrakhan.
John, you name it.
Yes.
Will we ever do it? Well, maybe in this microcosm,
Put your